I'm approaching Lock 10, the only remaining physical trace of the Erie Extension Canal. I drove down from Conneaut Lake, took about 40 minutes, and it's a nice day today, and I thought I'd take a look. So this is kind of fun. So the river is over there, and this has stones going up on ramps on both sides. And I think there were gates or something in here. But this is it. And it's pretty thrilling. Now I read that some of these stones, whenever the railroad started up and they took these, they didn't need these anymore, that they reused them for foundations of houses and buildings. And well, this is cool. So there's two little parts where it's kind of inset, and that might have been where the gates were. And this part's curved, so that's where the gates actually moved, like swung back and forth. That's kind of what it looks like. Okay. Well, looks like I'm getting close to the other end. So these stones are pretty big, just to give you an idea of the size. Here's my hand. See if I can give you a little bit of size comparison. And here's the same thing with an inset part with some curving stones. So that must be where, where something turned, like the back of a gate or something, and it goes all the way from top to bottom. Wow. This is super fun. I'm glad I came down to take a look at this. I've wanted to ever since I heard about it. Okay, and then this is the other end. And it looks like both sides just kind of curve around, and this part goes into a bank with some other stones, and this one curves around and ends where the water is. Maybe I'll just take a look. Oh, it looks like there's a little memorial here for Bub, who was a son, a brother, and a father. Wow, that's interesting. And yeah, these curve around and just end right at the edge of the water. This looks a little different. Looks like there's some gaps between some of these stones. And some weathering too on some of them. I wonder if maybe this was repaired or patched or something. Here's a little metal doodad right there. Kind of looks like a giant nail. But anyway, this is it. What remains of the Erie Extension Canal, Lock 10. So literally just kind of curves around that way. And then here's the river. Looks pretty shallow, but pretty nice. And this is what it looks like from the opposite direction. So this is it. This is Lock 10. And it's not too far from Conneaut Lake. And I came down to do a video and to see it. So I did watch a video about this, and I think the one that I watched said that there are some scratches and scrapes on these stones that were probably caused by the boats, the canal boats that came through here. And I do see a couple. Anyway, this is really something to see. I mean, I remember hearing about this when I was growing up, that they talked about the Erie Canal extension, and there's a place that's probably a mile from where we live where it came through. And of course there are no traces, and then they built railroads. They filled in these canals and built railroads over them. And well, I really like this. Well, this looks like some old carved in graffiti here. That might go way back. Wayne probably worked on that quite hard to carve his name in there. But I'd say it's in good shape. There's a little bit of faded paint graffiti on here, but not too much. Here's some more of those scrapes. And I think for as old as this thing is, I think it's held up pretty good. Wow. You can still see how they did some of these stone, you know, how they chipped the stone and stuff, smoothed it. I do see some scrapes over here too, at different heights. So yeah, I'll just come through the whole thing and show it to you reversed. This part looks really intact here. And then I guess beside this, on one of the sides, was a tow path for the animals that pulled these canal boats. But anyway, here's my final shot of it. Well, I walked around the back side, the one side that's closest to the water, and I don't know what this was like originally, but it looks like some of these stones have been removed and probably used for other things. Anyway, it's pretty interesting. Looks like a groundhog has come out and is squatting down and looking at me. I'm going to see how close I can get. Well, that's about how close I can get.